Hey guys, welcome to the stream. And today we are going to be doing one thing in particular, and that is stopping the player firing arrows when they're not in the correct mode. Because as you can see, I don't have a bow, and yet I just fired an arrow. Now that was actually interesting. Let me have a look. Yeah, they are still off the door. But let's not worry about that for now, because we want to stop that. So what I have actually done is add an enum with normal hunting and crafting. Now I'm not sure if we're going to use crafting or not, but I just put it in as a third option anyway. So now when our player left clicks, we want to check whether or not our player is actually in the correct mode. And this is it here. Okay. So the first thing we'd want to do here is, when we've created this, we basically go to our current mode and set it to hunting. Okay, and basically vice versa is we set the current mode back to normal when we unequip our bow. Okay. And this is the fire arrow. And basically, we're going to get this. And we're going to say equals to and that's going to be hunting, and then we're going to branch off of that okay, and we may need to do a little bit of moving stuff around here just to get it a bit tidier. We will delete that, which means that this can go over here a bit. This can go over here a bit. This can be deleted. We can drag this up to the right position. Then we can move it in a bit, tidy it up. There we go. So now we should not fire an arrow unless we are actually in hunting mode. Okay. So if we fire, nothing happened. Right, but we go into hunting mode and we fire, we have an arrow. Okay. which is all rather nice. So, now that that's working, or at least that is another thing working, and now what I want to actually do here is possibly some big changes to, well, it's basically me moving code around. But the first thing I've got to do here is check our interactable items, and it's not actually going to be, yeah, it is going to be in here, right? And we're going to add a new row, okay? And we're going to say 10. And it's going to be goat meat, right? And we are going to need an image for it and a mesh for it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say meat and hope that I've got meat, which I have, but it's not a very good one. I don't know even what that is. Right, we'll have a look. It's meat on a stick apparently. It's meat on a stick without a material apparently. Yeah, it's just got a cube material on it. Okay, well, whatever. So we'll try the other one. And that's just the same, I think. So we'll go with that. That's fine. And then we'll see if we've got a meat image. Apparently not. Right, that's just the textures. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that for now. I'm going to have a quick look to see if we've actually got a better one. Let's see if we've got a... We've got like bread. I suppose we could go with that just for something different, right? So we'll save that. And I think if I suddenly go offline, I think it's because my electricity is about to short circuit. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, apparently it's coming from behind me instead of in front of me, but I don't know what it is. Anyway. So we're going to go for a description here. And we're going to say goat meat collected from a killed animal. Okay, we're going to save that. We're not going to use any montages because this is going to be used from our inventory, and it's going to be of the type food, and it's, let's say it's going to be 1 kilogram. Okay, so this is where we might start having to split off things into uses and used, right? Because this doesn't make really much sense being in the same table, because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a reference from the dead goat to the actual item it gives up. Okay, so we might need to do a bit of re-engineering of this stuff, but what I was actually going to do was, this is an interactable item, okay? And from our dead animal, if we go into our interactables, okay, so this is like an interactable, and when we use this, we are basically doing this play montage and then what we need to do is transfer items to our character, right? But what we need to do here is we need to create a kind of new set of interactable items. Right? Or in our data table, for our interactable items, let's just do this and find out how it ends up being. I'm not too happy because this is getting a bit too unwieldy and it's trying to basically be all things to all men, which isn't that good. So what I would expect this to do, or the two variables, would be items, yeah, we could say items given right, and items given quantity. Okay, so these are both going to be integers because we're going to have a number of items and we're going to have items given. Okay, now we might actually need a structure out of this as well, but for the moment this is going to be an array, and that's going to be an array. Yeah, we probably need a new structure for that. And we probably need to split this up into its own table. A lot of these could actually be split up into their own table, right? But for the moment, we'll leave it there. Okay. So, if we go into our DT interactables and we go into our goat dead, right, we can say item 10, then quantity we shall say 3. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to give 3 of item 10, which is the goat meat. Okay, now as I said, this is just a prototype. I'm probably going to swap this out into some other table, and then basically this is going to have a gives item or something bool that then sends you to the other table to get the other stuff, right? As I said, this is becoming a bit of an all things to all men type thing. Now the goat meat, yeah, we're saying it's 1. That's fine, right? So if we go back to our goat, we're playing our montage, right? Then we're going to get our item data. Then we're going to say not that. We're going to say add to inventory, but that is not in our thing. So it might be in the interactable item, but we're going to have a check, okay? So if we go to our interactable items, right, and we go to our drink, we can have a look, and that's the drink. Then one we're interested in is the add, and it is the reference character. Okay, so that's perfect. Okay. So what we really want is this. Okay. So we're going to delete that. Then we're going to say add item to inventory. Right, but what we need to do here is break this, then we need to say for each and we're going to get this as well, but we're just going to add a reroute node, and then we're going to need the row number as well. Right, so we're going to say data table row okay. And this is going to be interactable items for the moment. So for each of these, in actual fact, to string and then to there. Okay, so we're looping inside a loop here. Okay, now this is actually going to end up being get a copy. Okay, and then this item we're going to pull that to there. And then this, we're going to get a copy. and that is going to go there, then that is going to go there, and that is going to go there. Okay? So, let's try this, shall we? Hopefully, okay. And there is our goat meat. Right, but the thing is, that whatever this did, it did not use the item. Well, that's kind of weird. Right, let's have a look at this. Add a breakpoint, right? And we add the item. Right, which is very weird. It's doing it here. Right, this is the thing that's doing it. Okay. So if I click on that, right, I'm guessing it is there, the chicken tender, right, but it's not what we want. So what we're going to do now is shoot it again. Okay. We're going to resume that, and our item is quantity 3. Right? So, do we have 3 is the question. So if I say resume, then I get our, we're going to have to stop this. Now, is it the inventory just not showing 3, or is it us not adding 3? Right, that is the question. So, we're going to have to answer that. And at this point, I don't know who's watching, I hope it's one of you guys, but I had a question this morning that basically said, on the Discord, that is there a way to change the font size in Unreal Engine? Now, it is not an unheard of question, and I have looked at this myself, and there is not. However, there is an answer, right? And it's not to change the font size, it's to change the scale of your widgets. So I have started this stream intentionally like this, right? But what you can do, guys, is if you go up to Windows, the window, then go to Developer Tools, and then you go to Widget Reflector, right? And then you say you can change the scale. And now, look what we got. Now, that hasn't changed our font, right? But what it's done is it's changed basically the scaling of all our widgets in the editor, right? So I'm hoping that that's going to be helpful for some of you guys, okay? And also it's going to make the streams a bit clearer. Okay, so when we look at variables and stuff in our outliner, it's going to be easier for you guys to read. So I was quite happy to find that one out. Now I've been looking for that for years, right? But I was always typing the wrong thing in Google, which was basically changing the font. You don't actually change the font, you change the widget scaling. Okay? So, with that in mind, I'm going to go to our inventory and view in the editor so we can have a look. Okie doke. So we're going to shoot our goat in the head. Then it can wander off. And then it can die. Then we can skin it and resume that. Right, and now if we select our pawn, if I can find it, right, we should be able to come down here and look at our inventory, and we have got 3, right? So it's actually our inventory that isn't showing it properly. Now we do have 2 issues here. Number 1 is our goat is not disappearing, and number 2, there's 2 of them, right? So we obviously don't want that to spawn twice, and we want our inventory to show the right thing. So let's have a look at our inventory first, since we're nice and close to our, go to our inventory slot, graph, then we've got quantity, then we can go to the graph, and I don't think we're even setting it. And we have actually no reference. Let's have a look. Find references. 0. Well, that's brilliant. So, in our inventory main, right, it's going to be when we create the slots. Okay. So we create the slot. Right, and this is coming from the filtered items. Okay. And I didn't really realise how underdeveloped this actually was. Right? Because this is just not right at all. Interesting. So what we've got here is the fact that we are looking in our inventory, right? And that's fine, but we're not getting we are not getting the correct thing. Right, because our inventory item, okay, we're going to do this slightly different, right? What we're going to do is we're going to create a struct. We might start using this elsewhere, right? But what we're going to say is struct inventory item and quantity. Okay. And that's going to be item and quantity. So that's going to be an integer, and that's going to be a struct interactable item. Okay. And now if we go back to here, our filtered should be an inventory item and quantity. Right now, and the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to basically fix all the stuff. That this connects to, which is fine. We can do that. Right. So we're going to refresh the nodes on that. And then in this we're going to add right. Then we're going to delete that, and then we're going to make that right, and this is going to go in here, this is going to go in here, okay. And our quantity is going to go in there. And we're going to refresh that. Now obviously we're going to have quite a few little problems here, but we'll sort them out as soon as we can. We're just going to refresh the nodes there. Okay. We're going to break that. We're going to add that. Then we're going to make this again. Right? And we're going to outrow that. And we're going to quantity that. Okay, so I think we're down to one more. And we can take it from there. And we'll refresh that. We can clear that. We can compile that. We've got one more here. We can clear that. And we're going to, for each loop, right? That's going to go in there. That is going to go in there. And that is going to go in there. Then this is going to be deleted. That's going to get moved up into its place. Okay. And this coming in is going to become that other type of object. Okay. So we're going to change this inventory slot, but you'll notice now that that's fine. Right, I'm going to go and grab a cigarette, guys. I shall be back in 2 minutes. We shall take a further look at our inventory here and get the quantities done. Okay, so if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for links to Discord, Patreon, and my previous game on Steam. I shall be back in 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, we're back. So let's carry on with this, shall we? So we need to go into this inventory, and in actual fact our struct item is going to be inventory and quantity, right? And this is going to screw us up, but again, it's an easy fix. It's just a little bit time consuming, but it will certainly be worth the payoff. And this now is, we need to refresh this, and that still says the wrong thing, but that's okay, and that's because we haven't compiled this yet, and it ain't going to compile, right? And that's because I need to refresh that, and now this is going to be a break, okay? And now we can just do our item into here. So we're just going to have to do that for each of our items here, which is fine, right? Nothing to worry about in the grand scheme of things. So we can compile that. It's going to fail, which we know, right? And we're going to now have to change the tooltip as well. Which is fine. So we'll refresh that, and we want this tooltip item. And we're going to go to graph, and then we're going to get item data, and that is going to be inventory, item and quantity. We change that variable, so we have to go back up the chain here, so we have to fix tooltip first, and then basically go on to the slots, and then go into the main, right? As I said, not complicated, but it's just something we need to do because we didn't do it properly the first time, right? Not something that we anticipated, but hey ho. Refresh nodes, break it, okay. Then our item data is going to go there. Move that in a bit. Compile that. That is now compiled, so we only use that once. So the question is, do we have a quantity in there? At the moment, no, but we can easily add it now, so that's fine. So we can now come into our inventory slot. We can refresh the nodes, and that can go in there. And that is the first of our things done. We can come to here, we can refresh the nodes there, we can break this and put the item there. Okay. We may need to do something with that, but for the moment we'll just gradually fix all of our little issues here. And again, this is just basically refresh, then break, then put that there and compile. We have one final. We refresh that. And break. And the item goes in there. Compile that. Now we can go into our inventory main. That can go there. And now our inventory slot right, we're looking for our on construct, which is here. We can get our quantity, then we can set text as normal. We can pull our struct item, we can break it, and this time instead of the item we basically get the quantity. Okay, save that. Well, that was a bit of work to be able to show a number 3, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Shoot our goat. And down it goes. Now that's deleted. Okay. And what we're going to check first is we're getting still 2 goats, okay? Not a good thing. But the thing we want to check is if the 2 goats are in the same position. Right? Minus 1775, minus 19. Well, that's weird, to say the least. Okay, it's working fine. I'm an idiot. So we resume that. Right. Then we go inventory, and now we've got our 3. Okay. And that's kind of awesome. So we've got that working. The other dead goat, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed, is over here. Right, and that's why there was 2 dead goats when I thought there was an issue, but there actually isn't. Right. So we have sorted that bit out. Except for one thing. When we're calculating the weight, wait a minute. Right, let's try that again. Is it calculating the weight correctly? I think it was. I think I was just being... bit weird about it. Right. We'll resume that. Then we'll hit inventory. And we have 0 kilograms for some reason. Okay. So this is obviously something to do with when, let's have a look, recalc weight carried, okay? And right. So we're not updating, or at least I think we were. Right, hang on a second. What we need to do is calculate the correct weight. And to do that, we first need to know if the inventory is actually correct. Right? So now what we need to do is have a look at our controller and find out what our actual inventory says. It says row 10, quantity 3. Okay. And our weight says nothing. Okay, so basically there is something weird going on here. When it recalculates the weight. It's not right. Okay, it's not right. The problem here is with our dead goat. we actually need to recalc weight carried. And in actual fact, we should right, okay. So what we should do is we should basically say ref car recalc weight carried, and that should go there. Okay, and it should also go here. And we should basically copy that to our other one and paste it in there as well. Right? And that's going to go in there. We're going to drop that down, and that'll be that. Okay. And this time we're recalculating the weight. Resume. Okay, and if we press inventory, we've now got our 3 kilograms, and that is correct, even though it shouldn't be. It is correct, put it that way. So we're going to stop that. We're going to go to inventory main, and I am tempted seriously tempted, right, to move this right from there it's 100 to 100. Okay. So say 825. Okay, now this weight I'm going to say that, I'm going to compile that, and our next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to here and the weight is not going to be that, it's going to be, let's say 0.3. Okay, so yeah, now we're going to go to our dead animals. We're going to go to here, right? We're going to can use, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do that, and we're not going to do that. Okay, so basically you can only skin it. You might be able to maybe be able to inspect it, right? But right, it's going to wander away and then die. And that's not a walk, that's actually a run. If you look closely, that is a run. R. Yeah, that's right. We only wanted the R. So we basically resume. And we're going to disable this. And we're going to stop it. Okay. Now, the first thing you do here is you're going to be, if we look at the dead, and that's looking at the pawn. We want this. Okay. Okay. play use montage, right? And is there not a play use montage with delay? Just wondering here. It's just got the play montage as well. Okay. So, I'm just wondering here, when do we use the with delay? We use it on the brazier, right? So, if we look at interactable items, we can look at this. We do the play use. That's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Yeah, that's because of individual things. Right, so what we want to do is copy this into our dead animal, right? And we basically plug that in there. We move this down a bit. We plug that into there. We delete that. Right, we hide everything there. Then we move this across a bit. Then we move this down a bit. We join that up there. And in our montage, we get that there. Then we do that. And basically join this to here. Okay, and that means that we're now going to delay until we've stopped skinning, right? Then we're going to add our meat to our inventory, and then, and only then, we're going to delete the dead animal, right? Once all that has been completed. Okay, so we do that, right? We can move this to the bottom. Doesn't matter if these kinda and in fact that get character can just go to there, right? Which means that this can go up a bit and over a bit. And then that can go to there. And we'll straighten the connection. And that's fine. And then we'll say destroy actor self. Okay. But first, get all widgets of class. And that's just in case we've got any lingering. So now we're going to say found widgets for each. We're going to plug this in here. I'm going to drag that to there. And then we're going to remove from parent and then that is going to go in destroy actor. Doesn't matter that that's in line, but it just makes it a bit neater. Okay, and that should tidy everything up. So what it's going to do is we're going to go and get our dead goat, right? And we're going to say delay action for montage. Now, I don't know if I hit that. Yeah, I did. So we do our skinning. And there we go. Now, what we want to do again, and it's here, is disable input. Get this, get ref character. And disable input. So while she's doing her just gonna get player controller. I don't actually think we need this ref character. Right, I'm going to delete that, and we're going to see okay. So before we do this, get player controller, and enable input again. Right. Okay, we might need a ref char. We've done this elsewhere, so I should really check that. You can always pull these down a bit. That's us done there. Let's have a look what we got. Right. And that's going to actually go there. Okay. There we go. So there we go, there is our skinning a dead goat. We can copy this and use it for each of the other animals depending on, it should be the same pretty much, right? Should be the same pretty much, the code, right? But I'm not 100% sure, so we can use as necessary, put it that way, right? So if any of you guys got any questions in the chat, feel free, ask away. I might actually try and set up another animal and see how that goes. And then we might actually end up selecting, splitting up the actual wildlife from the items, because that would make a bit of sense, right? It is going to still use kind of the same structure, but kind of not. But yeah. Okay, so where are we now? Well, the point is to check the system, right? So let's check the system. You'll notice that our food is at half. Right, so we shoot a goat. The goat runs away and then dies. We move and skin. We might change the skin thing because we're not really skinning it. Right, so we go inventory, select the meat, use it, then exit. And you can see there that our goat meat is not able to be used. So we're going to have to check our inventory. Inventory main. Right. And if we go to the graph, button use, right? It's in DT food items. Right, so we need to add the goat meat to the food items. Okay. Yeah. Add. And that's going to be 10. And that's going to be, let's say, 25. So in theory, two of these should give us a full bar, right? So we should, once we've skinned and then we eat two, our bar there with the little ham leg on it should be up at full, okay? And it's not really skin because we're not really getting the skin, you know, we're getting the meat. So we should probably change that. So if we use, right, and then we use, and then come out of here, there's our ham up full. Okay. So that's pretty darn cool, and we like that. So I think I'm going to call it there. It's a good place to stop. We have done quite a bit. So if you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for links to Discord, you're welcome there. Also to my Patreon, which supports the channel and the game, and also my previous game on Steam, there's a link there. Please add it to your wish list, that would be fantastic, and I shall catch you later. Bye bye for now.